Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the reshuffling of our country's cabinet ministers. I'm sure we are all aware of that what is happening in our country and how the government is running. So in last 2 days what has happened, I'm sure all of you have come across the news that there is a reshuffling in the cabinet minister, which we term as cabinet 2.0. So of which 43 new cabinet ministers are appointed. Now I'm not going to talk about the detail and the name of all the 43 ministers here. First of all, what we have to do is we need to know what is cabinet ministers, what is this body about. What are cabinet ministers? Basically, these are a group of some very secretive ministers who are allowed to discuss and to give some advice to our president whenever he is in need of. Okay, and the head of the cabinet minister is our prime minister. So, in 2 days back, our country has gone through a radical change. The change is about the appointing of so many new faces. So we got almost 43 new cabinet ministers, and they have taken the oath in Darbar Hall in the parliament. Okay. Now the first time in our country it has happened, the selection criteria of those cabinet ministers are on the basis of their education. Like there are a handful of PhD holder, then we have some doctors, lawyers, then even the former civil servants are also there, and then almost 68 graduates are there. Okay, so this is a wonderful change. We are going towards a progress. So, but I'm not going to talk about all this because we all know it. Let us talk about something which has happened before, the day previous, the resignation of the 12 cabinet ministers. Why suddenly the resignation? Resignation of 12 ministers, of course, they may have done something, right? That's why they have to resign or they have been sacked. Now, the reason why they are resigned, they are sacked because they were incapable, they could not fulfill the duties and the responsibilities, the oath that they had taken, they could not stand for it. So let's talk about one by one, of which I have come across in some article. So we have this Union Health Minister, Harshvardhan. Okay, he had to resign because, of course, we all know, because he was incapable to manage the second wave of our country during this pandemic. Of course, because of the mishandling of the entire situation, the cases have aggravated. So that is why he had to resign. Okay, now of course acceptable. Now the next is our education minister. He had to resign because there's so much of confusion and dilemma regarding will there be exam, will there be no exam, how the results will come for CBSE, how the exams will happen in state board, and how the exams will happen in the states where there are no smartphones, no Wi-Fi. So what will happen to those students? So lots of hodgepodge. So he had to resign. Next comes our electronics and technology minister, who was assigned the task of lifting up the standard of the government in all the social media, mostly in Twitter. But he failed in that. How he failed? Because if you have seen in last year, the amount of rebuttal and spatting happened in Twitter regarding our government, it's like out of the box, never had happened so much. For that reason, he also had to resign. Next is when our country last year had gone lots of migrants, the mass migrants changing places because they are going back to the village. So the labor minister could not help it, could not find out a way in between to keep the laborers in the same place and not to allow them to move to their villages. So lots of things have happened last year. So because of that, those ministers have to resign. Okay, according to us, yes. Now, what is my perspective is, Is our government running individually? Say I am the health minister. Can I take decision by myself? Am I to be held accountable for taking any decision? Like, okay, fine, I will not release the oxygen tanks or anything. I will do accordingly. Is it possible when we are in a democratic country? Is it not supposed to be executed with the help of the permission or permission assigned by the PMO? That is what I think. My point is, if I am the health minister, I cannot take my decision by myself. I have a head. If I have to execute a plan, I have to go in officially, take a permission from the PMO's office, then it will be signed, then only I will be executing. Why am I sacked? I did accordingly. I did with your permission. I don't know if the sacking of those ministers are justifiable or not. I am no one to decide. Okay, because I am neither running the government nor I'm against the government. I'm just a middle class family girl. Okay. Now, what exactly happened in our society? What people like us, we are middle class people. Okay, we had a big hope on our prime minister, but since last year, things have taken a different turn, because solidly we were supporting him. Trust me, it's not me, it's everyone. But we have seen so much of loss of our own people, loss of people whom we know, people whom others know. So many people we have lost during this pandemic, and it is not because of this COVID only. It is because of the mishandling of the entire situation. So maybe somewhere we are in topsy-turvy at this point of time, and regarding this entire government thing, this government that is going on, that is running our country. And not only that, this cabinet reshuffling of the cabinet, I don't know how much will it be helpful, because when you change those people, what's next? Are you trying to prove that they did wrong, so they are being sacked? But they did wrong with the permission of a person, of a body. So you need to treat that body. Am I being against of the government? I don't know. I am just a citizen of a democratic country. I can only have opinion, because since I cannot change the government, since I cannot do anything, I can only talk. Okay, so I can only talk. I cannot do anything. And right now at this point of time, I feel that we are always double-minded. Okay, the reason is me. I'm talking about myself, because if they would have not been sacked, I would have come back and tell what, they are not been sacked, they should be sacked. The government should do some treatment, give some punishment, some sort of punishment they require, right? Now, after they have been sacked, I'm telling why they have been sacked. They are not the only one responsible, because this is how we are. Since we can only sit and chit chat and talk about the cabinet reshuffling, we will have the double-minded thing. Always we will go back and forth with our decisions, because we ultimately, at the end of the day, we need a country where we all are happy, we all are very contented, which is always a dream country. So today's video is not about anything great. It's all about the reshuffling, which is actually bothering me. What is bothering me is that is it some kind of pacifying for the citizen by the government, by saying since you have asked, since we have done something wrong to you all, to the citizen of our country, so I am going to sack those people. But this cannot bring back the loss that you have done. By sacking those 12 ministers, that cannot bring back the loss that the citizen of our country have gone through. The unemployment, crores and crores of unemployment, the loss of people, forget about unemployment, the losses of the life, we cannot get it back. So you are not paying us back by showing that how strong government we are, or is it a technique or is it a tactic to win our heart for the 2022 and 23 election? It's a matter to ponder about. Are we again going to fall for it by saying that yes, the government is very strong, he was and he is very strong with what he has promised. His minister couldn't perform, so he sacked those people, and he has made a branch of ministers where they have experience and young blood. Let's see what happens in next few months, because anyways in 2022 and 23 again we are going to give a cast vote. So I prefer to watch for next few months the situation of our country, and then only you'll cast vote. Don't go by your priorly decided mind what had happened last year with the pandemic and how it has been handled. Let us go by what is going to happen in next few months after the change of this cabinet reshuffling. At the end of the day, I still hope that whatever the government is doing, it's for our goodwill. Let us just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.